Hello YouTube, and thank you for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about how to trace a session that connects intermittently. You may have a batch job that connects from a particular server at random times, execute a number of queries, and then disconnect. So we'll be using two triggers to start the trace and then end the trace when the session terminates. We're going to put a condition on here to specify the user and the terminal to make sure that we're only tracing the session that we're interested in. And when the user HR logs on to the database, it'll set the SQL trace to true. We're going to use the trace identifier to format the file name so that it can be easier to identify. When the user logs off the database, we will set the SQL trace to false and stop the trace process. So let's go ahead and create the two triggers. Okay, now let us simulate the batch job by connecting to the database. Okay, and we're going to run some queries. Okay, our job is completed, so let us exit. The next thing we're going to do is identify the trace file and the location where it was created. We can do that by using the $diag trace file view, and this shows the directory and the file name that was created. As I mentioned, by using the trace file identifier, you can format the file name for easier identification. Here we have used the schema name, the terminal where they connected from, as well as the date and timestamp. And the 992 is the process ID that you can see in the top or the task manager. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the contents by querying the $diag trace file contents. So this is ideal for small files, but if you've captured the trace for several hours, it can be rather large. So I would recommend that you FTP it over locally for processing. The last thing we're going to do is we are going to use TKPROF to format the trace file into a human readable format. And the format is input file, output file. Once it's processed, you can use a utility like Notepad to view the file. And the file contains the entire trace, starting from the beginning of the trigger execution. As you scroll down, you will see the queries that were executed. So for example, I ran a query on select star from jobs, which shows the query statistics information that was captured. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this information useful.